It's a rainy day. I don't know about y'all. I like rainy days. I do. Although rainy days are a great day to stay home and play hooky and not come to work. But yet here I am. Here we are. Congratulations. So first day of class. Let's go over a couple things. This semester, instead of like cycling people in and out of the Google Classroom, I just have everybody in the Google Classroom. So if you are here currently in class, there shouldn't really be anything for you on the Google Classroom. If you miss a day, whether you're remote or you just are absent for whatever reason, you can hop on Google Classroom and see just kind of what we're doing for the day. That's where I will post any daily updates for the students that are not here, like an attendance form. If you are remote and you want to be counted present for that day, the attendance form is a great way to do it. Also, I mean, if you do work or interact with me in any way, you'll be counted present. But for instance, for today, I posted Monday's attendance. I'm recording a little video, so I'll post this video in a couple minutes on the attendance thing. So obviously y'all in class don't have to worry about this. But for those of you that haven't bought the book, I have my book buying video, and we're going to go over the book real quick today. So just a reminder for everybody, this is going to be a very different semester. Previously, and those of y'all that were just recently in the last semester will kind of know this, but previous semester of this, we have just bought a physical copy of a book, which is a fairly good book. It's fairly cheap. You can get used copies online. You will not need to buy a physical copy of this book this year. We're going to use the PowerPoints and go through some of the PowerPoints. But a lot of what we're going to do is through the book that you are purchasing through Canvas. And I'll show you a little bit of that in a second, but it's the Pearson Mastering Geology, and we're going to do all of our homework and lab assignments through this. Possibly tests, but I think I'm still going to do the tests in Canvas. So either way, we're going to do a lot of stuff through this. I'm going to do a little bit of lecturing with the PowerPoints where it's necessary to kind of supplement. But we're going to try this out this semester. But that being said, know that I have not used this before in a semester, so there's going to be some hiccups. There's going to be some slow times, and we're going to work through it together. But I'm just kind of saying that because if you notice any problems, or if you personally are having any problems with the book or with the assignments, please let me know, because I'm probably not aware of it, and you're probably not the only one having problems. So hopefully everything goes nice and smoothly. There's another instructor at Navarro that has been using this. And so I think that he's been liking it, and his students have kind of like that. But for those of you, well, I guess it's just you for this period. Last semester, basically, I just stood up here and lectured like for 45 minutes, and then you did your assignments as homeworks. It's okay. It is kind of like a good primer for some college classes, because there are a lot of professors that literally just lecture. That's your only interaction with them, is them just standing at the front of the classroom and lecturing at you. That being said, it's not the best way to learn. It's not very interactive. And so I wanted to switch to something that allows us to do more than just lecture during class. And so hopefully we're going to do that this year. So just a quick recap. This is the Canvas course. It should be open. Everybody should have access to it. Let me know if you don't see it or can't find it, and we can figure out how to get you viewing this. Right at the front page, and I will reorganize these because I noticed that they're all just separated one chapter at a time. I'll kind of group these together so you have a little bit more of a streamlined view. But I have all the PowerPoints, and the PowerPoints are pretty helpful for helping you find stuff kind of quickly. So each of the chapters has its own PowerPoint, and we may or may not go through those in detail. You will have any assignments will pop up under quizzes. Also, they'll show up over here on the to-do list. So they'll tell you what assignments you need to do if they're through Canvas. when you're ready to purchase the book, which you should go ahead and get your login and get access to the book. You don't have to pay for it up front. You can get access today or tomorrow, whenever you get a chance to do it. You should try to have it by tomorrow. I think we're going to try to do a short little like intro assignment tomorrow. But you don't have to pay for it up front. They will give you access and give you like 2 weeks to complete the transaction and pay for it. So if you haven't done it yet, maybe think about doing it today. If you haven't done it by tomorrow morning, I'll probably have you do it as we start to do the assignment. So go to Canvas, click on MyLab Mastering, click on this yellow button, Open MyLab Mastering, and it will take you to a user agreement. We're all used to agreeing to those, so scroll all the way down to the bottom and click I accept. And then it will ask you to create an account. If you already have an account, I assume when you create the account and use that email address, they'll be like, no, you already have an account created with this email address. And then you can reset the password if you don't know it. So I would just create an account and, kind of log up for it or sign in for it. Because it's already connected to Canvas, it should put you directly into my class and know exactly what book that you're after. Several of y'all have already signed up for it, so I think that it's working good. If you have any questions, let me know, or if it's late and I'm not responding, you do have the videos here on Canvas that will kind of walk you through it. Let's see what this is about. Hello? Yes. Yes. Yeah, no problem. Mackenzie and Sierra, we all go see Miss Jones real quick. She's gonna yell at y'all so bad. So bad. Let's see. So now that we talked about the book for a second, let me, instead of this book, I just kind of want to go over the general semester that we have coming up. The book starts off with the introduction, and then it's going to go through pretty much all the stuff that we went through last semester. But instead of just talking about it as like in an Earth-related kind of view, just like the physical, what's happening with a volcano or a tornado or flooding or whatever, all of these chapters go over the same concepts, but more in relation to how it affects humans. What kind of damage is done to how we live and the things that we build and the areas that we stay in. And so it's a lot of the same concepts that we've already discussed, just viewing them in a different way, which is actually pretty cool. And so we're going to have some really interesting conversations. We're going to go through these chapters. But it's also a good reason we kind of started this semester with the new book, because there is a lot of repeated information that we don't necessarily need to go through. And if I went through every single slide in the PowerPoints, it would be kind of repetitive compared to last semester. So hopefully we've got some new cool stuff to look at. A couple things they throw in here that we didn't really talk about last semester. We didn't do a whole lot on climate and climate change. We did a little bit of weather stuff, but we didn't talk too much about climate change. They've got a whole chapter dedicated to that. I don't think we talked about wildfires at all, did we? So we talk about wildfires a little bit, which we have wildfires here, not here in Texas, but in California every single year, bad wildfires. So, and then the last one, impacts and extinctions. That should also be pretty interesting. But leading up to that is a lot of the same. You have earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes, flooding, mass wasting, which is going to be like landslides and avalanches, subsistence and soil, the dropping of land and taking care of the soil so we can grow the things that we need to grow and the land doesn't like leave out from underneath us. And then they get in some weather stuff, atmospheric processes, hurricanes, cyclones, coastal hazards is going to be like erosion and different things that happen specifically to the coast. So it should be a pretty interesting semester. Now, last thing, when you actually get into the book, I need to see if I can get a login, not like a login, but if you can get a student view, because a lot of this y'all aren't going to be able to see because this is my kind of instructor login. but I just wanted to show you what we have in the book here. So let's take a look. Here we go. Create assignment. Create a new assignment. Continue. And this is going to be homework. Let me come back here just so I can type a couple things. I just want to show you all kind of what this book has and why we're doing this. So test. Maybe test is not the right way to name a normal assignment. And delete it later. Okay, so we have two different things here. We have access to the actual book kind of material. So Pearson, Natural Hazards and Disasters. It's not quite one for one, but that's pretty much what our old book was. And so we got some test questions. We got some different little interactive things going on with that. And it kind of goes through every single chapter, which I'll have to look and see how much those match up. It looks like they're matching up 1-to-1 almost for the actual textbook. So this should be a better way to present and interact with the information than just the PowerPoints like we had last year. The really cool thing is this Hazard City, which we will do as kind of like a lab. Because if y'all noticed last year, outside of the rocks, there's not a lot to do in the labs. Outside of rock labs, or unless we're taking field trips, the labs are pretty much just paper labs. Like we tell you about something and you like do stuff on paper, like the was it plate tectonics we did? We didn't do the earthquake one, did we? I think maybe I introduced it and never gave it to y'all. I remember when I was doing grades, I was like, did we do the earthquake lab? And I kept looking for y'all's papers, and I never found any of them. So I was like, I guess I never gave it to them. But the Hazard City thing is going to be like labs. And so basically what Hazard City is Pearson has created a fictional city. I'm almost in my head, this is probably dumb, but in my head, I'm thinking of it almost like a Sim City. And bad things are going to happen to this fictional city called Hazard City. And your job is going to be able to, not your job, but your task in a lab is going to be pretending that you are a geologist and it is your job to help this city, Hazard City, solve some of these problems. So if we look at some of these, we have coal property evaluation. So they're going to give you some geologic maps. You're going to pretend that you work for a coal company and that you're attempting to buy land to help expand their coal mine. And so that's just an example of one of them. They have earthquake damage assessment. So an earthquake has happened. You need to go in and find out what kind of damage was created, how bad it is, and maybe even give some information on the earthquake. Flood insurance maps, landfill sightings, which is actually kind of important because just down the road from here on 45 is what? A landfill, yeah. And at some point in time, is that land going to be full? Yeah, and then they're going to say, well, we need another landfill somewhere around here. And they're going to have to figure out where that goes. And there's a lot of stuff that kind of goes into that. On top of that, something to think about is when the landfill's done, what do we do with it? A lot of times in Texas, old landfills end up being golf courses. Because you basically filled a giant hole with trash or made like a mountain of trash and covered it up with dirt and grass. You can't build anything like structurally on it. You can't put like a house or a building on it. The foundation will not be safe. And so you kind of got to use it for park space or golf courses is something I have heard is a common ending site for landfills. So just something to think about. Landslide hazards, they got landslide triggering mechanisms, map reading assessments. I don't know about y'all. I love map stuff. Map reading is actually pretty fun for me. So shoreline property assessment, snowpack monitoring. So these are a little bit different, and I think this is going to be a pretty fun, interesting semester with the Hazard City stuff. So just to show you, I mean, I don't know that it necessarily needs to be shown. But let's go back to the front page, and I'm going to show you kind of what we're going to go through tomorrow. This is my plan for tomorrow if this comes up. Oh, for whatever reason, y'all will not have this problem. The book does not like my Firefox browser. Anybody here using Firefox? Yeah, everybody makes fun of me when I do, but I'm tired of Google spying on me, so I use Firefox with DuckDuckGo. But anyways, lots of stuff doesn't work with Firefox. Not lots of stuff, but every once in a while. And I'll send in like a ticket to Stephen Michael. Like, hey, this isn't working right. Can you help me out? And he'll come in and just be like, you should stop using Firefox. That's my solution for you. Never. I will not do it. So, real quick, tomorrow what we're going to do is this introduction to mastering geology, which is essentially just a quick little like assignment set that will introduce you to how the software works, how to answer questions, and what kind of stuff you're looking at. It's pretty easy. I think I did 2 of these the other day very quickly. So let's just click on it and kind of show you what they're looking at, and then we'll call it a day. So they give you a little bit of reading, just a couple short paragraphs. They give you this calendar, how many months of the year have 28 days, and then they ask you to answer that. So I'm asking you, how many months of the year have 28 days? Well, but it didn't say exactly, did it? Yeah, so all of them have 28 days. And yeah, I thought that too. I was like, just one. And obviously you can see here, I'm in the wrong view. So I'm looking at the answers already. I should be up here in the standard view, and then it wouldn't give me the answer. But yes, the answer they're looking for is 12 because they're tricksters. Yeah, you got a part A, you answer that question. When it's done, I guess you got to do it first, and then it will take you to part B. So I got that correct. It tells you why it's correct. I assume if you got it wrong, it would kind of give you some hints as to why that's incorrect. And then you go on to part B. What are they asking about? Figure 2. So look, this is just figure 1. If we go over to figure 2, it shows us the boxes. It asks us what's different. Which box contains something different from the other boxes? And obviously this is not meant to be challenging. There's one that has a triangle on it instead of a circle. So C is going to be the different one. And you can select C and keep going. So we will go through this tomorrow. There's no reason to kind of go through question by question today, but that should kind of get you associated with the book and the software, and we can kind of move on from there. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you haven't signed up for the book, maybe spend a couple minutes doing that, and we'll kick this off for sure tomorrow, first thing. Thank you, everybody at home, and y'all have a nice day. Stay dry in the rain.